Baruch Hashem, today is Motzei Chof Aleph Cheshvan. We're going to learn here in the beginning of the Maimer Violech. In the previous Maimer we spoke how the Atzilus is B'chinas Adam Elyon. It's only a Gila Helm L'gabe the Kav, because the Kav, even though it comes Lifnei Atzim, so it's still, even though it's Davok in the Ur, it's Lifnei Atzim. So it comes in Ofen of Mido Gvul, and therefore the Atzilus is considered a Dam Elyon. But the level of Chachma, we're saying Me'ayin Timat, that is L'gabe the Ur HaSoiviv, which is the direct Ur Lifnei Atzim, which comes La'achas Esakelim. So we ask you, we have to understand. We just said the level of Chachma and Atzilus is just comparable to the Elyon. It's only revelation. And the Kav is just connected to there. It's also Gila Helam. So we'll conclude the question first. So Ibazeh, what is it really different? Why here do we say Adam Elyon, but the Gabe Arasev we say Yashmayin? Like we'll see at the end of the paragraph. But first we're going to understand the question a little bit better. So it's not just like that even though through Tzimtzum, Shazel Mashachar Tzimtzum Hemshech Min Ha'Ur Seif Kav Echad Yashar Min Ha'Ur Eagle Shloi. The Kav was drawn out from the Ur Eagle. B'Rosh Elyon Shal Kav Nimshech Min Ha'Ein Seif Atzmei V'Neget, touching direct in Eir Seif. U'Befrat L'Mashkasav B'Makom Acher. After they've created Tzimtzum and put the Ur away, which the Richuk came out the Kav, so it's the same early Lifnei Tzimtzum. Vahin, with the Bishvil Hamshach Sakav, in order to draw down the Kav, Haya, Tunua, Havchis. It was the opposite of a Tunua, the opposite movement from before. It was a re-shining of the same early Lifnei Tzimtzum. This same early Lifnei Tzimtzum shined again for Kav. Like Ela Talmud, when a Rav wants to give Seichel to the Talmud, so the Rav is Mitzvah Seichel, but the same exact Seichel is then what comes out. The B'tchila Tzarech Tzimtzum Ar. Shemal Ur Sichel L'gamri. The Rav has to put it all on the side. V'achakach B'teishi Nimtza Ur Shaykh Al Mekabel, to bring out this Ur, which is Shaykh Taka for the Mekabel. Harei Choyzer Ur Umer. You can reshine the Ur. Kimi Asiluk Levad, just from removing it. Lo Yimot Ur Shaykh Al Mekabel. Just from the Ur that goes Al Atzad, from removing all the Ur away, there's nothing now left to give over to the Talmud. So you have to reawaken the same Ur from before, just now not even of Gila Helam. Kimash Choyzer Mer. Even Masilu Gufok for Nimtar Shaykh Mekabel, even from the Siluk Taka, you could already see the Ur. When you do the Siluk in order to find it, then the act of the Siluk is already creating the Ur. You have one kind of Siluk, one kind of Tzimtzum, where you get rid of everything. The Rav gets to a point like you never had Seichel. And here, no Ur will come out. When the siluk is not fully on the side, and the siluk is only there for a purpose. Since the Ur was already there from before, so it's already found in the siluk. You can recognize it from before the siluk. Once you do the siluk, it's recognizable. So the act of tzimtzum itself is already creating a separation. You could recognize the Ur of the Mekabel. It's only general. The siluk alone does not reveal it. Even to feel it, in order that you should be able to have this Ur, so only by re-shining it. So understand the same thing in order to reveal the Kav. So only through Tzimtzum itself you reveal the Ur again. We'll move on. It's obviously not the same level than it was before. Who needs a Tzimtzum, right? What did the Tzimtzum do? The Efshar Shiyaz Gilar of Mikamakamari Omer, it's still shining even after Tzimtzum. Fine Mashkasim Zebedi Ramasal Tigurish Samach Vov. Timkain, Adam Shach Sakav, what they kid of their Insoif, it's Aaron Soif one trying to get close. Timkain, Achashakav. This is going back to finishing the question from the beginning of the paragraph. Since the Kav Ume'ena Aaron Soif Shlifnat Tzimtzum, it's the same type of Ur. As Aaron Soif Shlifnat Tzimtzum, like we just said, that it's a Tunu of Kirov of that same. It's Tzimtzum. V'achachma, b'v'chinas Gilel, l'gabe HaKav, and the Chachma. Atzilus is only a revelation of Kav, like we said, Adam le'elyoin. Eich ha'chachma, b'v'chinas Yeshmayin, l'gabe Atzilus Aaron Soif. How could you say it's Yeshmayin? 2 steps over, it's just the Gilel. Gam tzarech lavin be'ikar inin shintzbar le'el. We also have to understand the principal idea that we said. Sheish bizmin ha'mshachas b'chinas Ein Soif. There's one revelation of unlimited and b'chinas gvul midol gvul. One level is Malchus Ein Sof, which is the general Sof, which is Ein Sof Mamash, unlimited. And then there's the B'chinas HaKav, Shuma Malik Alamin. They me'achar, again, the Shnei, and Nimshachim Me'er, Ein Sof Shlifnat Tzimtzum, if they both are drawn. From the Ur, Ein Sof Shlifnat Tzimtzum. So again, this is a similar question what we're saying over here about why one is like this and one is like this. Or we're saying the same thing over here. Lama Zeb B'chinas Ein Sof, Zeb B'chinas Gvul. Why is one unlimited and one is Gvul? So we asked number one, we asked it more specifically on the Ur HaKav, or the Chachma Vatzilus. What do we say? Is it Gilei Helam since it comes from the Kav? L'chayre, the Kav itself comes with Nat Tzimtzum. So how could we say that it's Yashma'ayim L'gabe the Tzimtzum? So that's question mitzad when we're looking at mitzad Chachma Vatzilus. Why in one way do we say it's Gilei Helam, in one way we say it's Yashma'ayim? The second question is, well, again, same style questions. We're looking to L'mayla L'mata, since the Eibusher is being Mamshech to Eifan. One is Mamali, one is Seiviv. Why is one Ein Sof and one is Gvul? The Ur Ein Sof, L'mayla Mala Adin Kates, the Ur of the Eibusher is high, L'mayla above. Unlimited, L'mata Adin Tachlis, and it goes down, also without any limit. How could we even say if it's Ur Ein Sof of the Eibusher? How is it even shaykh to use these terms of Maila and Mata? Since Ur Ein Sof is above unlimited and down no limits as well, there's no difference between Maila and Mata. The Ur Ein Sof leis asar ponim should have said that there's nowhere where the Ur Ein Sof isn't there. If it's Maila adin kates, Mata adin tachlis, what's the difference? Just say leis asar ponim Ur Ein Sof leis asar ponim it's everywhere equally, or it exists everywhere. Mal inin l'mayla adu l'mata chulu. What are we using these terms of l'mayla l'mata? V'inin hu tineyesh la'aktim tchila pirush Ein Sof. Let's understand Mahu Ein Sof. What does it mean Ein Sof? No, there is no end. What does it mean? To do a kusha b'zens. Question. Lama karei b'shem Ein Sof v'lo b'shem Ein Lo Tchila. Why did he say it has no end? And he didn't just say it has no beginning. Shu ma'ila yesera. Saying it has no beginning is a much bigger ma'ila. Kamashkas v'arameh b'sefer placharimoin. Shara Endal Perik Gimel says Kol Kadmoin Nitzchi. Anything that's beginning. Anything of beginning is eternal. Not everything that's internal is a kadmon. Which means, if you are the first thing that existed, the kadmon, then you're eternal. But then something could create something, and then that thing will be internal. As we say, Shadabi man nivraim. There's many creations. They're not kadmon because they're creations. They are not the first thing. Something created them, but you nitzchim, they'll be eternal. B'ratzon abayra. Aval ein shum kadmon. There's no first Zula Samaris Barch. Levad besides for the Eibusher. Shuhu Levad who are Kadman. Only the Eibusher is the first thing. Shemitzius Ematzmos. His existence comes from himself. Nothing else caused him. All other things that are found. All the other ones are found from nothing to something. They're created. Even the level of Ak, the highest level of the Eibusher that we could refer to right now, Nikra Adam Dibriya. It's considered an Adam of creation. There's something before it. Fenikar Kadmon, Ak is called Adam Kadmon. It's called Kadmon. Only because in reference to Atzilus, which is where we're usually starting to count the level of Ishtalshalos, this one comes before it. So that's what we're calling it Adam Kadmon. But realistically, it isn't the Kadmon at all. When we're talking about the Eibishter, his main in this there's nothing before him. That's the only thing that's by the Eibishter, and nothing else has it. They should have called the Eibishter Ein Lo Tchila. If he calls Sefer HaKabbalah, why are we calling him no end? So before again, we're trying to explain why the Eibishter's comes in one way like this. In Gila Helam, and in one way Bleakvul. One way Bleakvul, one way Midogvul, one way Gila Helam, one way Yeshma'ayin. So we said that first let's understand what's Lamaila and Lamata when it comes to Erin Seif. And now we said another question, why Bichlal Erin Seif? Let's call him mainly Tchila. And to understand this, we're going to start with introducing one other concept, and this is what we're going to talk for a little bit. Argue about the level of Keser. So we know we have 10 spheres. Now, is Keser one of it or not? Many of the spheres. Is Keser one of the 10 spheres? Many of them are Kabbalim. He brings here from the Magen Avraham for the Radbaz, from Munis for Rav Shem Tov, Rav Yitzhak Kodesh from Gabai, Rav Moshe ben Gabai, and I think the Ramban as well. Keser is not part of that spheres. V'nikra Ein Sof. So when we're talking about Ein Sof over here, we're not talking about the Eibishter, we're talking about the level of Keser. The Ramak in the appropriately named Shar Ima Ein Sof Keser, he argues and he says that Keser Gam Kin Michlal Eser Spheres. Keser is Eser Spheres. Ubir Divrei Mekabalim Anal, and he explains his Mekabalim. The Sphere lay to Ilu Sheyesh LaKeser Ala Spheres. What Keser has over spheres, which according to everybody, Keser has something above the 10 spheres, even if we say it's part of it, there's something greater than it. All other spheres are Ayin Liyesh. They're somewhat of a creation. The level of Keser is not considered renewed. All spheres from Chachman below have Kalim. Shazayin b'Yeshma'ayin, which that is the idea of Yeshma'ayin when we're talking about Kalim particularly, Kayadua. Aval Keser lo yesh by Kalim. Keser does not have Kalim because Keser was there buried by that Mezon base. V'tamon less mana limit basbel limit b'yediyah of Klal. Over there, Keser. There's no mana, there's no Kalim to grab onto it or to know any idea about it. I can't show it. Ofiyah Mitzbar Khan, we're talking about over here, Yesh Lemesh. Gam mitzad ha'or nikra mechudashim. We're talking about even mitzad ha'or. So usually mechudashim goes on, Ein Liyesh, it's talking about Kalim. But here we're talking about even the Eres. Like we said, when we said even about Chachma, that we said in the previous Maimer, that we're talking about Lagabe Atzmus itself, it's considered a Yeshma'ayin. But Keser is Amshach which is not considered a Yeshma'ayin. So going back to everyone says that B'chinas HaKeser is not Mechodash, and like we said over here, for short, not Kalim, but even Eretz, we can say it. Valzel Razal, actually Nivroilim, before the world was created, Hoya U Shmoy Levad. B'chinas Shmoy, Shehoya Gamkin, actually Nivroilim, the level of Shmoy, which existed even before the world was created, and we're talking about Nivroilim Atzilus, Hanim B'chinas HaKeser, V'wan Nikar Insef. So this is talking about Shmoy over here, is talking about the level of Atzilus. Ul Divrayim, so according to them, which they hold that Ein Sof is this level, it's not Mechodesh. Now we can understand why we call Keser Ein Sof and not Ein L'Tchila. Right? Who Shmoy? So Shmoy Bal Hashem, the Eibishter made it, created it, so that's the Tchila. So you cannot call it Ein Sof. So again, if we say Keser is not part of the Eser spheres, right? So and they're all mechudashim. Keser is not mechudash in this sense of Ayin Liyash. But Mela, it's the Hu Shmoy. Mela, you can't call it Ein Lo Tchila. You have to call it Ein Sof. The The Ramak argues, Vevi Rayas, and he brings Rayas, Shakeser Mekhalas Shasfiras Mamash, and Shem Chudashim, and the Takim Chudashim. Al the Tchilas Asiyas, Sheyeh Shaykh Loimar, Sfiras Mamash. Vamizgale Elenu, there's still some extra Ilui in the Keser, so where we could say that there's some element of Atzilus, that's something that could reveal to us, the Haba Atalia, that's one's connected to the other, the Mashal B'chinas Spheres B'Metzias, Melo B'chinas Mizgala. Once it's spheres in existence, then it could become revealed. So that is only Mi'anech Chachma Lamata. Aval Keser B'chinas Tachsel and Lagamrein, it cannot become revealed, it cannot come down lower to us. V'zewa Ilu Sheb'Keser. This is the Mila and Keser. Not like the other Mekabalim which hold that Keser is not part of the Esther spheres, which by them the Mila is that it's, that by them they say that B'chalal, it's not mechudesh b'chlal. It's part of the it's a revelation of the Eibishter himself in Oifen of Shmai. The Ramak says no, it's part of the Esther spheres, and the chidush in it is that it's not b'chinas metzias megala. Avlu gamkin mashenetz amatzal, but it's also something that came out of the atzmus, something of mechudesh. V'harizal b'Etz Chaim Sha'ar Mem Aleph Yichriya. The Arizal made a achra between these two shittas, and he says that Keser Mamutza. Keser is an intermediate. It has from the lowest level of the Eibishter, the Creator, and it also has in it from the root of the Creator, and from that aspect, so Keser has in it both aspects of aspect of Ein Sof and aspect of Esther spheres. The Gam Dvarav Tzrichim Bir. You have to also understand what the Arizal is saying. The Eich Shaykh Loimer Sheish B'chinas Ein Sof Mamash. The Kivan Sheina Keser Ein Sof. If Keser isn't actually Ein Sof, Im Kain Ein Sof from Moshe Vatzmosai. So if the Keser isn't Ein Sof, we only say that it has in it from Ein Sof. So Ein Sof is going directly on the Eibishter, right? Moshe Vatzmosai. The Eich Shaykh Sheish B'Keser B'chinazu. How is it Shaykh to say that the Keser does have this level of B'chinazu? The Hine Hapardes. Svirle, I think that's the Ramak, right? The Ramak, Shekeser B'chlal B'chinas Netzel V'olul Me'en Sof. Yeah, part of this holds that the Keser is a creation, and it comes out of Ein Sof. If you get Masha Ein Sof, Meir B'Keser, Meir B'chinas Ar Levad, it's only revelation of the Eibishter. Kikol Giloy, who can Ar Levad. Anytime there's a revelation of anything, it's only a shine, and it's loy b'chinas atzmus. It's not the atzmus of the Eibishter. Ki mashameir mi oiroi be'olum menu, from the Eibishter's oir, something shines and something that came out of it. And since the Eibishter is revealing the Orein Sof, that's why it's fully concealed, and that's again the Ilui over Chachma, or the other Chachma Lamata. Aval Arizal Omer, the Arizal just said, the B'chinas El Yoinoi Shebi Keser, the high level in Keser, the B'chinas Atik, who B'chinas Tachton Shebi Ein Sof, it's the lowest level of Ein Sof of the Eibishter. Vim Noimer the Ein Sof B'chinas Atzmus, Eich Shaykh Shebi Keser, B'chinas Zu HaShaykh Keser, which is not the Ein Sof, has in it. Sorry, that is not Mosav Atzmusay, has in it Mosav Atzmusay. If Ein Sof is Mosav Atzmusay, how's it Shaykh to say that? B'chinas El Yoinoi Shebi Keser, has in it. If I another question, Eich Shaykh B'Atzmus Mamash Loimer B'chinas Tachton El Yoinoi, how's it Shaykh B'Chalal to say in Atzmus this concept of El Yoinoi Tachtona? So we started by saying that Ein Sof. There's an argument if it's from the Esther spheres to the Ein Sof, or it's Ein Sof itself. And we said one verse that it's Ein Sof, and then it makes sense why it's not called Ein L'Tchila. So we kind of wrapped that one up. According to the Ramak, that it's Esther sphere, that's part of the Esther spheres. Keser is part of the Esther sphere, so that means that Ein Sof is so we still have the question what's Ein Sof, because Ein Sof goes on Moshe Vatzmosai. The Arizal's Machriya, he says it has in it both. But if it has in it both, how's it trying to say that Keser, which is not Ein Sof, has in it Ein Sof? Look at how's it trying to say that Moshe Vatzmosai is Nimshach into something else. The idea is the commotion Keser. The Arizal Machriya, the same way there's this argument about Keser. And the Arizal has this pshat that kind of combines both of them. The achra in it, the same type of machlokes, same argument in what the definition, what the meaning of the word Ein Sof is. The Ramak the Shem Ein Sof The name Ein Sof is talking about the Atzmos HaBorei. Hemshech Perek Dalet Tzvigalei. The B'chinas Ritzoynei is Baruch Hu HaNikra Ein Sof. The Rotzen of the Eibishter is called Ein Sof. V'nikra Siba Rishon Al Kol HaNetzalim. It's the first reason for all creations. Mashenkel Amahuzah Vatzmos. If we're talking about directly the Eibishter, Ein Liachis Afilu Toyer Siba. You cannot call it even a reason. And again, we have the same type of achra by the Arizal. The Nachar Shekasav Shebekasar Yesh Boy B'chinas Tachtana Shel Ein Sof. If Kasar has a lower level of Ein Sof, Ukilu Noimar B'chinas Malchus Sheb Malchus Ein Sof. It's as if we're saying Malchus Sheb Malchus because that's the lowest of the lowest of Ein Sof. Move on, move over Behediyad Ein Sof Ein Rachman Litzlan. Sorry, Ein Ritzon Eloimar. It's not once to say Ha'atzos Shel HaBorei Mamash. It's obviously not the Ha'atzos of the Eder. The Mehuzah Vatzmos say Mamash Ein Shayach Lach Ha'atzos Shel HaBorei B'chinas Tachtana Elyoinei Kanal. Can I call it Elyoinei Tachtana? Nervous. Does it go on this intermediate, this other level? The Ritzoynei of the Ein Sof of the Mehuzah Vatzmos say sorry. Elavade Ein Sof Lav Hainu Mehuzah Vatzmos say Mamash. It's not the Mehuzah Vatzmos of the Eibishter himself. Achi Yitzchak B'Zel Loimer B'chinas Tachtana. So now you could say it's right to say B'chinas Tachtana because we're talking about a level that comes out of it like Ritzoynei. But not Ritzoynei. Moving with Dvar of Gamkin. It's also understood from the Arizal to Lo Yisvira Leklamash Kas V'Ramed Ritzoynei Anikra Ein Sof. He doesn't hold up like the Ramed that the Ein Sof is this level of Ritzoynei. Moving the B'chinas Matzil and Mavur Sham ain't a B'chinas Ratzin. We're not referring to Ratzin. Void. That a B'chinas Ratzin Nikra by Gamkin Keser. Right? Ratzin is Keser as well. And he said that Keser only has in it B'chinas. Only Elyoinei Shebekasar Tachtana of Ein Sof. So we can't say that Ein Sof is Ratzin according to our Arizal. Right, there's a level of highest Ratzin. Since he says within Keser, fill the Ak, Shu Anikra Ratzin. Yesh B'chinas Tachtana Shel Ein Sof. Move on, move on. The Ein Sof L'mayla B'chinas Ratzin. We must say that Ein Sof much higher than Ratzin, even the Ak. For him to move on the Medivra Arizal, the B'chinas Anikra Ein Sof L'mayla B'chinas Ratzin. This level of Ein Sof is higher than Ratzin. Obviously, it's not Mehuzah Vatzmos. So we kind of answered al derech das machlokus in the Pirush Ein Sof. We kind of answered what the Arizal kind of is referring to. How it's shaykh to have a Elyoinei Tachtana? How it's shaykh to have a Gilui of Ein Sof in Keser? Because we're not talking about Mehuzah Vatzmos. We're talking about a different level, which is much higher than Ratzin. V'nei lav in ma'al b'chinas Anikra Ein Sof. You have to understand what is this level. So first. Why did the Ramak have to say that Ein Sof is calling an Atzmos? And also to understand why the other Mukabalim were forced to kind of say that the Keser is called Ein Sof. Like why? What drew them, or what made them go either way, or to say what they had to say? This nothing changed mitzad ha'olamos by the Eibishter. The Eibishter is exactly the same before and after the world was created. It's not like the neshama which comes to make us alive. It gets excited and becomes changes from the body changing. Why? Because it's mamish and clothed in the body. The strengths or the powers of the soul, the intellect, which is the atzmos of the nefesh, they enclose themselves in the limbs of the body. And they get differences in the way they reveal. The difference of big and small. The difference is in the limbs. You have bigger limbs. The koichs become bigger. Like a little child, when you're smaller, your koich haseichel smaller, your koich hamidus is smaller. The limbs get bigger, you get bigger. Even though it's not mamish in the body, the doesn't have this mamish effect of big and small. It's limited and defined by the body. One body can only be in one body. A neshama can only be in one body at a time. It's somewhat limited or defined by it. But the Eibishter, there's no difference before and after the world was created. So because of that, we have to understand how all these koiches affect the world and still do not make a difference in the world. And by understanding this akdama, we can now see how all the Mekabalim now said, but if this is the case, then we must say that there are these other levels which don't actually affect the Eibishter, but they're still Mahav and Mechaya the world. And this is where we're going to talk about tomorrow, Mirz Hashem, understanding how this Aniyah Vayla Shinisi forces the previous two Machlokes, or Be'ikr the Machlokes, about where Keser is and where Ein Sof is. And we'll continue this conversation tomorrow, Mirz Hashem. A good night.